It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on a nutty morning. Good heavens. I'm just changing the show literally 3 seconds ago from what it was 30 seconds ago, because I got some more stuff in. But anyway, we got this a nuts show today. This, of course, is Friday Travel and Cruise Industry News. Just a absolutely fabulous day. All right, first thing, today, it's the important thing. Today's National Bartenders Day, folks. Bartenders have a rich history. They've been around since ancient times. You know, there's 500,000 bartenders in the U.S. and goodness knows how many more on all our cruise ships. Make sure you go see a bartender today somewhere and give them a little extra tip on National Bartenders Day. I think that's awesome. All right, now, we do have some cruise ships sailing today. We'll knock that out first. From U.S. ports, down in Port Canaveral, the Disney Dream and Mariner of the Seas take off. From Port Everglades, Celebrity Silhouette, Miami, Freedom of the Seas, and Oceana Riviera. From Tampa, the Celebrity Constellation, I got to talk about that in just a second. Galveston, Disney Wonder, and out in Long Beach, Los Angeles, the Navigator of the Seas, all sail today. So now, first thing this morning, first and second thing. Let me do the first thing first. Let me give you a flash of our port of the day first thing, so you guys can be thinking about that and drop in, if you have a guess, drop it in, because a lot of today's show is tied into the port of the day. So take a guess on what this port might be. Okay, I'll leave that for just a second, and I will try to keep up with that as I'm doing other things as we go. Now, I've got to correct a mistake. I absolutely hate that I have to admit to a mistake, but I made a mistake on yesterday's show when I said that the JJ Cruise gang was sailing on, I don't even remember what ship I said, but I said the wrong ship from Tampa. Actually, last night, JJ, Jordan, and Jared did just a fabulous live stream from Disney World for the 50th anniversary of celebration that it was at Disney last night. And it was a really cool thing. But the correction I have to make, I said that they were sailing on Serenade of the Seas yesterday. Actually, they're sailing on Celebrity Constellation today from Tampa. But yes, that was an awesome live stream that Jordan and Jared did last night from Disney. I watched every minute of it and was just fascinated. So now, headlines for today. We got heavy seas for the Norwegian Epic, another missport for the Iona, report from Cindy Davis Weatherall in Puerto Rico. We just got some stuff in from on board the Sky Princess as it gets near Cuba. Carnival cancels more Horizon dates. All of the MSC fleet will be in operation by the summer of 22, and Costa Toscana was delivered, and a whole bunch more. But the first thing we got to do, we're going to talk to Elizabeth on location, but we're not going to tell you what the location is until I have a chance to go check it out. So without further ado, Elizabeth on location. Elizabeth, how are you doing? You look like you're cold.
I'm freezing. But it's okay. It's been a beautiful sunny day, and we're in an unexpected port that we were not scheduled to go into. As you know, we were late getting into our turnaround port of Southampton the other day, and so we sailed a day late. In my 30 years at sea, that's only the second time that's ever happened. And so last cruise was a late sail, or they got an extra day of cruising, and the new passengers were shortened today. And then we missed Gibraltar yesterday. And then we were supposed to get into Alicante last night late, and it ended up being a full day at sea, and we didn't get into a port until around 9 or 10 o'clock this morning. So we are in a mystery port today.
Okay, it does not need to be a mystery port anymore because damn old hot air Tom did it again. First guess, Palma, Mallorca. And of course, that's exactly where you are. So now we don't have to play the
You already guessed
mystery
it.
game anymore.
Okay. I know I can't see the live chat on while we're talking. But I figured Hot Air Tom would be there and he would guess it. But anyway, I'm gonna stump him on some other ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got some.
He's a know-it-all, isn't he?
Tom, Hot Air Tom, he's hell, he's been everywhere. I mean, you know, he's the only person I know who's got more cruises booked than I do. You know, I've got 13 as of this morning. I've got 13, and he's got 20 some booked. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, you have to tell us about Isaac.
But has he been through the?
Has he been where?
Oh, okay. So, well, I'll answer your question first. So I was wandering around in the port. We have a shuttle bus that brought us into the town because we're docked about 15 minutes from the town is quite big here. And so I went and had lunch, and then I was wandering around, and I thought, well, I'd try to find a place with Wi-Fi where I could sit and have a glass of nice Spanish wine, right?
Yes.
So I'm sitting here, and I was filming because I didn't know if we would be able to do the live chat. So I filmed a little clip for you to show on the show. And after I did that, the waiter ran over and said, "Are you a YouTuber?" And I said, "Well, I actually help out. Do you know the famous Chillie Falls?"
Yeah, right.
Maybe didn't understand my English. Anyway, he said, "You're a YouTuber." Oh, well, his name is Isaac. And I said, "Well, I'm going to be filming from here if that's okay." And immediately he brought me, and I'm at the Maura Cafe, Maura Cafe and Bar.
I am going to play that clip.
Beautiful place. Okay, and anyway, he's like, "Oh, well, let me bring you some tapas." So I got some nice hummus, and then he came over and just poured me a glass of wine and said that was on the house. How nice is that? Thanks to Chillie Falls. So anyway,
well, that's on me, even though this guy has no idea who the hell I am.
Maybe he does, or he will soon. Anyway, so I said, well, I always write on TripAdvisor, and excellent service. This place is fantastic. The people are just lovely. The scenes are beautiful. The sights are beautiful, but the people are wonderful. And so anyway, he said, okay. I said, I'll write something up on TripAdvisor for them because they've been lovely. The food's nice, and the service is excellent. And now we know it's. These were just scenes on my walk around from the shuttle bus over to where I'm sitting now. What a beautiful day, huh? So anyway, that just shows you there's such great hospitality all around the world.
Now we do.
And
before I get to the
Bartender's Day, I need to go talk to the bartender.
Yeah. Before I get to the clip, this is a red letter day for Chillie's Cruises and travel and cruise industry news because it's the first time ever that I'm going to show naked people on this show. How's that?
That building is actually like right across from where I'm sitting. I saw that and I'm like, oh, I need to take a photo of that.
Absolutely.
There's amazing architecture around here too. And same with Barcelona. So I'll be in Barcelona tomorrow, so we won't do a guest support of Barcelona, but I'll take some updated photos tomorrow because we're in port tomorrow all day and like 12 hours or something.
All right. If I have the right clip, I believe this is the clip about the bar. I'm going to play that now. And yeah, you talked on it, so we won't talk over it.
Okay, I'm sitting at this cute little outdoor cafe, as you can see, called the Maura Cafe and Bar. And it's on a little side street here. Oh, it's beautiful. I should be in the sunshine over there, but I'm not. But I got this right here keeping me warm. So anyway, it's just beautiful here. It's a sunny day, gorgeous, but it's chilly. It is cold. I guess it's chilly in honor of chili. There you
go. I wonder if Elizabeth is aware that she just knocked herself out of the stream. I have no idea. That was Elizabeth on location from Palma, Mallorca, an island off the coast of Spain. That's actually someplace that I've been twice before. So when she first tried to stump me this morning, I knew where she was. Plus, I cheated because one of the first things I do in the mornings when I get up 4 a.m.-ish is find out where Elizabeth is. So I keep a track of her constantly, and so I know where she's been. So anyway, so that was a report from Elizabeth. I'm sure she's over in the chat room now. Thank you, Elizabeth. We love you to death. And tell Isaac that he was a star on YouTube today, and make sure he gets a link to my channel so he can go back and hear his name on YouTube. So, all right, now got a whole ton of stuff to do here this morning. By the way, Elizabeth only has to work about an hour and a half today instead of working like 6 hours like she was scheduled to do. Although she wanted to go into Alicante because she hasn't been there for a while. So, and they claimed it was because of high winds. I didn't get a chance to ask her specifically about this. They claimed that it was about high winds. Only she said that the weather was much rougher than when they went to Southampton last week. So I'm not sure about if this is some issues with the new variant that's going through Europe, and they're, not wanting some of the ships in some places. I don't know. We don't have any reason to think that. All right. I'm behind the few days on Cindy Davis Weatherall. She's one of our regulars from down in Dallas. You might remember not too long ago, she was in Hawaii and we shared some of her stuff then. Well, they flew into San Juan, Puerto Rico over the weekend, and she checked into Margarita Ria Mar Beach and Golf Resort, which is just awesome. And of course, the first night there, they didn't have the room quite ready for us, but they gave them some margaritas to celebrate their arrival. And after they got their room, they did a little bit of a rest. They went down to It's 5 o'clock somewhere restaurant to eat, which is by one of the pools. And they had the Alabama-Auburn game on. Now, of course, this was Saturday when they checked in to the Margarita Rio Mar Beach and Golf Resort. So they sat there with an adult beverage or two and watched the game. But Cindy posted some pictures. That is the resort. And interestingly enough, after they got the all the protocols done, the blue wristband was issued after they passed all the COVID protocols for proof that that they were safe. The green watch is the door key. So I thought that was kind of neat. And then that's looking into the casino there. Casino, small casino, I guess, on the resort there. And that's the Wyndham Grand Margarita Vacation Club by Wyndham. So a little bit from Cindy Davis Weatherall. That's another Cindy. We got several Cindys that do stuff for us. And that was, of course, in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now, all right, I have to start something uploading. So give me a half a second to do cleanup work, because things were happening literally as I was getting ready to go on the air. Now, our buddy John, man, did they have some seas last night on the Epic? I have to show you this part first. This is John's television. I don't know if it shows the time on there or not, but that wind speed of 72.1 knots, that's 82 miles an hour. And man, it was doing some rocking. What happened? The Epic went through this trough. Now, this morning, it's a lot calmer, folks. I'll tell you that. I'm going to play some clips here in a second. But it went through the troughs, and they have some buoys, the weather buoys that are out. There's still this morning, there's some 13-foot swells in this trough that they had to go through. But last night they had 80-mile-an-hour winds. This morning, it's calmed down a little. Here's what it looked like. No, that's not the right one. I got too many things happening here. Okay, I got to get the clips, and here we go. Wow. And then you want to see what it looks like from the front of the boat this morning when it calmed down? So that was the front of the boat this morning. So I asked John for a report on what was happening.
Well, hello to all my friends on Chillie's Cruises. It was a rockin' and rollin' last night. We could do all the songs, tossin' and turnin'. Jimmy Buffett's The Weather Is Here, I Wish You Were Beautiful. We're going through this trough right now that's not too far off of New York. And even though it's morning now, the wind has changed direction slightly off the bow, so I can be outside on my patio. But it's a little bit windy today. It's what we call a walleye chop when we're fishing back on the Canadian border waters.
I asked John what it's like in 80-mile-an-hour winds. Could he even open his balcony door?
Hey, Chillie. Well, the way the winds were last night, it was really strong against my door. Even though it's a sliding door, it was just held in the frame by the pressure on the glass. If you did open it, the room was just instantly pressurized. It was really an incredible night when you had almost 80-mile-an-hour winds on the nose. But the ship held straight and true. The big flippers were out. You could feel them. They're 20 and 40 tons of weight moving to keep the ship stable, but other than, making a little bit of fun about that it's rough seas, it was just a wonderful evening. Slept like a baby. Woke up 2 or 3 times crying and wanting my diaper changed. No, just kidding. It was a good sleep, and as you can see out there, we're in some waves yet today, but nothing like we had last night in that wind.
And then when he mentioned the flippers, 20 and 40 tons, he gave me another clip which actually show the stabilizers that come out. Some of you may have never seen this. I've never seen it on a cruise ship before. That I've not been on one in that kind of rough seas that had stabilizers. But here's what they look like when they're out doing their thing to keep the boat somewhat stable. That's what 200 tons looks like hitting 20-foot waves. But did you notice how stable the boat was in that kind of seas? I'm surprised. But anyway, a little bit dicey, rough night for the Epic out in the middle of the Atlantic. Wow. So now the next thing, this came in at literally the last second this morning, and that's from Nikki and Roger that are on the Sky Princess. And let's see if there it is. I gotta look for it. That's how close they got to Cuba as they sailed around Cuba today on the Sky Princess. That's Cuba and off in the distance. Of course, we're not allowed to go into Cuba yet. That's one of the things that I would like to. I know the Biden administration has been a little busy, but I'd sure like to see that whole business with Cuba rescinded and try to get our travel back to Cuba again. I got canceled out of going to Cuba 2 years ago when the Trump administration changed the travel policies. So, and I have not seen this, folks. This is what I was downloading on the fly. And I believe this is the Jazz Club on board the Sky Princess. I hope. And of course, that's a little adult beverage for Nikki and Roger. I love the jazz clubs. That's just fabulous. That's where I'd be. Anytime I'm not filming something, I'd be sitting in a jazz club. I really enjoy that. So, okay, let's see. I think that's got all the extracurricular stuff out of the way, and we can actually get down to some news. There was actually some news today that we need to cover. Strange as it may seem. Now, let's see if I can find out what I did with it. That's the next thing. All right, we've talked about the Carnival Horizon and the Azapod issues only a few days after canceling 2 cruises of the Horizon. After a full assessment of the issue, the cruise line has decided Carnival Horizon will need to undergo an urgent dry dock, with the ship not returning to service until near the end of January. Picking up the slack and welcoming displaced guests will be Carnival Sunshine and Carnival Liberty that were going to go into service earlier than anticipated. I wonder do they have enough staff? I mean, we're getting close to when they were going to sail, but are they fully staffed yet? Or are they going to take people off of the Horizon and spritzel them out between the two? I don't know. Rather than outright cancel the sailings scheduled for December 19th, December 26th, December 31st, Carnival has made the unusual move of returning Sunshine and Liberty to service early and transferring impacted guests to those ships. In order to transfer your reservation, the letter that went to the guests explained, we must close access to your booking. Once the transfer is completed, you'll receive a confirmation with your new ship and stateroom assignment. So they don't even have a choice. Carnival's doing that all to them. Carnival added that they were working to assure your new accommodations will be comparable to your original stateroom. Now, that whole concept is not completely possible, if you remember, from when Jason and Cindy and the Pink Ladies were on the Horizon. That's not what I wanted to do. That was flashed up something different. When Jason and the Pink Ladies were on the Horizon, the Pink Ladies were staying in the Havana Suites. Well, there's not Havana Suites on Liberty or Sunshine, so that's got to be totally different. As a result, guests booked into those particular categories, the ones that they can't duplicate, will get $250 onboard credit. Other guests will receive $200 onboard credit for the inconvenience of taking you from the Horizon, a new ship, and putting you on either the Sunshine, even though it's a refurbished ship, or the Liberty. I don't know. They might have stepped into a pile on this one. Of course, I realize they can't sail with the Azopod issues. Currently, Carnival Horizon is scheduled to return to service January 22nd. We'll have to see on that one, folks. I imagine Carnival's phones are ringing off the hook today with people calling and complaining and raising hell and canceling. And I'm not sure. I would think I would be hacked at this one, because they're just telling me, oh, you're not going on the ship you booked. We're going to put you on this ship over here, and we're going to give you a couple $100 that you can spend on board. Well, what if one of my things is I want to go on ships that I haven't been on. Well, what if I've been on both of those ships? I was on Carnival Sunshine before it became Carnival Sunshine. So, that was, 100 years ago. I haven't been on Liberty, but I haven't been on Horizon. If I booked Horizon, I'd want to be on Horizon. I don't know. I'm mixed on how I would handle that, folks. All right. That's what Carnival did, and I think they're gonna. That's not gonna help them a whole lot. It's gonna be even worse than the Azopod issues. And they don't talk about Azopods anymore. I wonder why. They have not mentioned that any time. They just say the forward propulsion speed or something. So, all right, MSC. Man, by the middle of the summer, MSC is going to be at 100%. All of their ships will be sailing by summertime. That's pretty cool. Meanwhile, MSC has reached two significant milestones for new ships. The MSC World Europa was floated out this morning, and the MSC Eurybia, probably pronouncing that wrong, but I'll have to find out as we get closer to it, had the traditional coin ceremony as the keel was laid. Both events took place at Chantiers de l'Atlantique shipyard in Saint-Nazaire, France. So, and as usual, my pronunciation was probably sucked, but that's the way it is. Costa Cruises took delivery of the new flagship, the Costa Toscana. That's the second LNG-powered cruise ship. Costa took possession from Meyer Turku, Finland, the Meyer shipyard in Turku, Finland. The vessel completed her sea trials towards the end of October, was officially handed over to Costa yesterday. The Costa Toscana will be sailing on her maiden voyage in March of 2022 in Italy. So I will have some news, folks, and changes to my schedule. I don't know, today or tomorrow. I booked another cruise, not the big one, not the one I'm wanting to book, but one out of Tampa on Serenade of the Seas. I will have some news on that. So that's going to be coming up as soon as I give them some money. I haven't given them money yet, so I got the reservation hold. I just got to pay for it. So, all right. Let's go see if anybody's yelling at me this morning for things that I've screwed up other than my usual screw up of pronunciations. So, all right. Of course, Elizabeth with us. Hot air Tom, I knew that Horizon would take longer to fix. Yeah, I mean, we all knew that. Because the isopods couldn't be fixed that quickly because they've had it happen before. I bet she gets a hole cut in her hull to either replace a shaft or complete engine. Ooh, I don't know about that, Tom. Those isopods actually, that's the equivalent to the old propellers. They're not propellers anymore. They're isopods. I'm not sure they have to. I don't know what's involved in replacing it. I do know they lifted that sucker up out of the water last year or year before last and fixed it in the midair. But yeah, I knew there was going to be more than 2 cruises too. So that part of it, you're right, Hot Air Tom. And of course, Hot Air Tom, I think he's got 22 cruises booked, and this will be 13 for me. Carol's with us. Hi, Carol. Gretchen's here from Ohio. Rob Slevin's with us. Says, hi, Chillie and gang. Just got my COVID-19 test back. It's negative, and now I need to fly tomorrow and sail on Sunday. Awesome, Rob. Happy bon voyage and have a great trip. Just post pictures or clips on Messenger. I love the clips because even if you have a bad signal, I get a decent look at whatever you're doing, and I'll put you up like I'm putting up folks all the time. I like that. But anyway, have a fabulous cruise, Rob. Absolutely fabulous. Hot air Toms. It's been a few pictures since I had a clue. Well, that's true. But you did well, Hot Air, on that one. Hot Air says, yes, Panama Canal 3 times and 4th in February. She bit her tongue, but I heard Panama. No, she wasn't talking about Panama today. She's in Palma, not Panama. Palma. Tom's yanking my chain again. 4.2 meter waves for Epic right now. So 4.2 meters, that's 12, 14 foot waves, 13, 14 foot waves. So, yeah. I mean, it's clearly not smooth seas, but I was just amazed at I mean, even though that's a big, massive ship hitting those huge waves in the water and stuff, but those stabilizers are keeping it reasonably steady. Hot Air says, I love Alicante. She can post a port picture of the neat promenade there or the castle on the hill. Yeah, Alicante's one that, Elizabeth's in the chat. She's probably going to say this. She loves that. Sharon's with us. She says she loves the video. And you know what? Did I not get to, I don't think I loaded this, but let me go back over here and check because I have a new guest, a new viewer that, did I not do that? I can't. I'm looking back through all my pictures that were loaded to see if, I missed out on one. So I'm going to, on the fly here, folks, I'm not nuts. I just pretend. Okay, so there's Isaac, Elizabeth's waiter. So let me, I got a couple of things that I'm going to do on the fly here, folks. So I'm not totally nuts. I'm just going to do things as while we're talking. And one of them was getting Isaac up, who's Elizabeth's lovely waiter. And the other one is I'm trying to find the picture of my wonderful new guest. And I can't remember where it was now. Daggone it. Oh, maybe I'll loaded it. That's probably what I did. So let me go over here and do it this way. I know this is terrible. I hope you guys are continuing with crazy talk in the chat room while I'm trying to correct issues on the fly. And I'm looking through for, wow, don't know what I did with it. Okay, so I'll have to wait and do that tomorrow because I can't find the picture that I want. Was that in downloads? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. There it is. Okay. Whew. I'm not totally nuts. I'm just partially nuts. That's my new person watching the show. You can see him watching the show. That, of course, is Sharon's pug, Viv, watching me on the tube. I love it. So, and now Isaac is the waiter at where Elizabeth on location is, and I'm going to get that up. And so we'll show that. So Elizabeth, if you're still there, tell Isaac that he is now live around the world. This picture has been shown everywhere. So that might be a little bit of a exaggeration, but he'll get the idea. All right. Sharon says she loved John's video. That's why I went to find Viv. I meant to have that loaded up so I could do it, slide it right in this morning, but so I had to go fix it. Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. Katie goes on another cruise here in another week or so, too. Hot Air Tom says, lots of people might want the Epic to sink. Say goodbye to John. No, please don't say that. That's not even funny. And by the way, Sharon sells on Epic next week. Cindy's here. I'm late, but I'm here. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, we got two Cindy. We talked about Cindy Weatherall today from Dallas. And of course, that's our Cindy who became famous with Cindy and the Pink Ladies. And I still don't know for sure how to pronounce Cindy's last name because it's got lots of weird letters in it. So I just call her Cindy. So, and Elizabeth says, don't forget to hit like, everyone. Yes, that helps the channel out a bunch. Were your ears burning, Cindy? Emily's with us from up in New York. Just got up. See, you got to quit drinking. You're drinking way too much at night and then having to sleep in the morning. We need to get you up earlier, Em. Cindy says, what did I miss? The Adventures of Cindy Lee and the azopods on the horizon and talking about what they're doing to guests from the horizon, and used your Havana Cabana, whatever you call that thing, on the horizon. They don't have that on the ships where they're stuffing people. So Emily says, hit like and subscribe. I appreciate the plugs there. Oh, Katie's homesick with a sinus infection. Sorry to hear that. Hot Air Tom says, I find it really annoying they are offering $250 onboard credit to the special cabin category cabins, not on the older ship, but $200 for all other passengers, like throwing salt on the wound. Yeah, I think Carnival makes didn't think this through as well as I would have liked to have seen. Hunter said, Tom, do I get a byline on Chillie's news, on Chillie's cruises? Tom, yeah, Hunter, Tom, we give you bylines all the time. And yes, Todd Air Tom sent me the story, which I also had. But anyway, I appreciate the effort. He does that quite often. He'll make sure that I have a story because I can miss them. I did happen to have that one, but that's okay. And we both agreed on that yesterday. As a matter of fact, from what we knew at the time, was going to be a longer period than just 2 cruises. Hot Air says, are you sure? Have you been tested for COVID? I wonder. Laugh out loud. Did you get underwater in the pool or the hot tub? I find that causes me to get sick every cruise. No swimming. Huh. Oh, getting your head underneath the bum. Yeah, well, I don't do that. I guess I stay out. But I get in the hot tub all the time. I don't get in the pools very often because of my, lack of mobility. But I get in the hot tubs all the time, or I used to. I may not anymore because of, what's going on down there. What can I say? I'm not sure people would want me to get in the hot tub with them with a damn catheter bag strapped to my leg. But so I may have to not do that. Emily says, personally, I went in the hot tub in the spa inside the Dawn and did not get sick. Okay. Hot Air says, I think you're okay as long as you don't get water in your ears, eyes, or mouth. Cindy says, hey, Tom, I'm going to use that 30,000 world points offer on a Greek Isles cruise in 2024 to improve from OV to balcony to ocean view to balcony. Great value for the points. Thanks so much for the tip. Yes, Hot Air Tom, that was definitely one of the best tips that we've ever had on the show. And obviously there's several people that have used it. So that was very good. Let's see. Yeah, Emily says we now have 6 cases of Omicron in the country. Yes, we do. John, I didn't even have a chance to talk with John about that. One of them's from Minnesota. But anyway, 6 cases now. And it's going to go up, until. But the thing is, if people are vaccinated and boosted, it's very mild. It's not people getting in the hospitals and dying like it is from the Delta variant and people that aren't vaccinated. People that are vaccinated and boosted are having very, very mild cases. So Katie says, I'm on Serenade next Thanksgiving. Booked it on Oasis. Yeah, I'm going to be on Serenade in, it wasn't Thanksgiving, but it's like end of October. last of October, 1st of November. Because we were looking at several. Believe it's the last week of October, maybe. I'll have to check because I've had so many running through my head. I can't. But I'm going on Serenade of the Seas too, out of Tampa, which I haven't sailed from Tampa before, so I'm looking forward to that. I think it's from Tampa. Yeah, I think that's from Tampa. He's getting way too much YouTube money. Who? Me? Huh. I wish. Most of the videos I try sending on Messenger are too long. Yeah, it works. It works, Tom, for shorter clips. But I haven't tried it on a long one. But definitely we've been breaking it up into clips, and it's coming through, and it's much better than the crappy Wi-Fi signals that we get a lot, especially, like John, we had one day once he was on the boat, one day with a decent signal, and the signals have been horrible otherwise. But when we started doing the little clips like that, they worked. So the clips are up to a minute or 2 minutes or something. The one Elizabeth did, if we had not had a decent Wi-Fi signal, she did one today that was a couple minutes. I don't remember the exact time, but it was a pretty good clip. So yeah, just it might take a few minutes for it to load on Messenger, but once it's there, I can use it, and I can reload it to StreamYard and have it ready to go, and it's a good picture and good sound. So it's definitely a way to go when we are having Wi-Fi issues. Now, I don't know the reverse of that when I'm on a boat trying to send you guys stuff. I'm not sure how I'm going to that yet. But still, that's another little bullet in our arsenal to try to get you good content every day. So Emily says, my opinion, NCL Sky should have solo cabins. Just found out they do not. Never did. That's correct. Well, that's one of the older smaller ships, Em. Maybe when they go through a big refurbishment, that'll happen. But and the reason that I booked the NCL Sky was because that was one that Hot Air Tom and Cindy were on, and I said, well, I want to do a cruise with them on the same ship that they're on. Although that it did not, I got no break on as for being solo on that. Which that's one of the things that I'm, I'm staying away from anything that doesn't give me a decent break for being solo. The one cruise that I wanted to take, I'm just hoping for a price drop, because it's such an expensive cruise. A 10% price drop now save me just like $1,000. So that would be a big difference. And that's the South America cruise. I really want to do that. And they're giving me about a 20% break off the solo price. But that's just covering the taxes and fees for the second person. That's not really giving a solo a break. So that's where I am on that one. Okay, Elizabeth says, actually going back to what was said earlier, Tom was right. I was about to say that I had been through Panama Canal 115 times. Oh, okay. So it wasn't Palma. I didn't realize that you were about to say Panama. Okay. Hot Air Tom was right again. Hot Air Tom's right a lot more than he's wrong. I hate to admit that publicly, but he is. Gretchen says, I'll give it a shot tomorrow from the sky with an adult beverage. Yeah, that's awesome, Gretchen. We will gladly do that. Emily says, I will book a window cabin. Elizabeth says, but then you asked me something. What did I ask? Completely. Oh, I see. Yeah. So when we did some crawling all over each other. That was one of the problems with doing live like Gretchen, did you go see my best friend Audrey, the shore manager on Sky? Gretchen gets on Sky tomorrow. Nikki is on Sky today. And did I send Nikki that? I don't remember if I sent it to her or not. I meant to. Nikki catches the show sometimes and maybe catches replays. So, Nikki, if you are if you happen to see this, and I'll try to remember to send you a message, go see Audrey, the Shorex manager, and say Elizabeth on location said, "Hey, Katie Kendrick says I went swimming in the ocean in Coco Key, got tested, and no COVID." Okay. Gretchen says I'm not on board until tomorrow. Oh, I said the same thing. Beat you to it, Gretchen. She will say hello. Sharon says, "Thank you, Chillie." Oh yeah, for Viv. I just love Sharon's dog. I really do. I'm a big fan of pugs and Bostons and that just have any of that elk of dog. I love to death. So Frenchies and pugs both. They're fascinating dogs. But I loved that with Viv sitting there looking at the TV with me on it. That was great. That's almost as good as Elizabeth asking some poor guy in Mallorca, "Hey, do you know Chillie Falls?" "Yeah, sure I do." Nah, that's funny. All right, Emily says safe travels. We all agree with that one. Oops, forgot it was Sky Princess or the other Sky. Yeah, Norwegian Sky. Okay, Nikki is on Sky Princess this week. That's the one that would just sailed past Cuba and went to the jazz club. That's on Sky Princess. And Gretchen's going to be on Sky Princess Saturday next week. And Hot Air Tom, Cindy, and I, Hot Air Tom, Cindy, that's a different Cindy from Cindy Lee and from Cindy Weatherall. But Hot Air Tom and Cindy and I are going to be on Norwegian Sky, and that's the one that Emily's looking at in August. And that's going to be a red letter cruise for Chillie Cruises, because I've got to help Cindy take care of Hot Air Tom. That's I'm going to stick with that all the way to the bank. So, and Hot Air Tom made reference to all the money I make from YouTube. Okay. I thought I said this the other day. Maybe Hot Air Tom wasn't with us. I'm not even where I get the threshold monthly, which is $100. It has to be $100 in my AdSense account before I get a check from Google. And I get a check every other month usually. So it takes 2 months for me to go over the $100 threshold. So I have trouble paying for, a $10,000 cruise when I'm taking in $100 every other month. So, it's coming out of the fat man's pocket, which is why I'm being a little more careful with how I'm spending my money. Because when I told my son about the cruise, my son's ready to jump in his car in Louisville and come to shoot me so I don't spend all of his inheritance. So that's just the way my son-in-law are. So anyway, Hot Air says, I did not mean I wanted the Epic or no meanness was intended. Just meant based on Facebook comments, lots of people in NCL don't like the Epic or would like it to. I see what Tom's saying, because there's some comments on there. And to John, this is one of John's favorite ships. So this is what, the 5th time he's done TAs on the Epic. But things are a little different when you're sailing today, and they're sailing in a situation that has been very fluid from when they sailed to where they are now going into New York. And a lot has changed in that period of time that they don't know about. And it's got everybody just kind of on edge. So Yeah, which that brings negative comments, even though it's things that are happening that the people on the Epic are absolutely in no control over. The rough seas last night, the Epic wasn't in control of the weather. That's just out there. So yeah, it's just it's a fluid time to be cruising. You got to be able to go with the punches, because things are going to change on the fly, and be ready for that. Absolutely. What's the deal with the Epic? Was that one that was? What's the deal with the Epic? Was that one that was tipping over during the storm years ago? Oh no, good heavens, no. The Epic is it's just had rough weather last night. Travels with Lizzie. Lou is with us. Looking at pictures of Epic, it's not appealing to me. John loves it. He absolutely loves the Epic. And they're just in some really, really rough waters now. Cindy says, safe travels. Gretchen, Chillie, you'll be in my neck of the woods in Tampa. We'll have to do dinner before your cruise. We can do that. That would be terrific, Cindy. I'll see if I can work that out. I'll get you the dates and stuff on that one. Chillie's Cruises, not you, but Tony. You missed the prior comment. Tony wants to do 20 cruises in 2022. Oh, okay. Yeah, I missed that one. I did see that Tony said that. Yeah, and he's got to be, he's got 120,000 followers and subscribers now. And everything he does, he's got 4,000 or 5,000 people. I have no idea what kind of money those guys are making, but I would think it pays for a lot of cruises. Cindy says, I've been on the Epic twice before, going again in September. Love the ship. People that love the Epic just absolutely adore the Epic, and like John does. He goes, his whole travel to Europe is built around a transatlantic with the Epic. How about a cruise on a submarine? Emily, I want a balcony. Yeah, a balcony on a submarine, that'd be real good, Tom. I'm sure Emily will get a kick out of that. Yeah, she's laughing. Cindy says, mine was canceled. Wanted to check out the ship myself before making up my mind. Sky is not quite to Havana yet. How about a detour, Nikki? Yeah. You know what? By August, would be something if they got the policies changed, because Sky would be one that's the right size to go into Havana. The change of our itinerary to add that I would not be opposed to that one at all. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I've got to go to therapy, pulmonary therapy this afternoon. And, I've killed almost a whole hour here. So, again, if you are new, folks, please consider going over and subscribing to this channel, as we would appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Always do the thumbs up. That helps the channel too. The bell notification lets you know when I go live or when I post a video, and that will help the channel out tremendously. So if you're not subscribed, I invite you to do that. It doesn't cost anything, and it does help the channel out a lot. We do this every morning, 6 days a week at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with travel and cruise industry news. And then, of course, we do the Cruise Amigos on Sunday, which is a whole nother issue. But I'll see everybody back here tomorrow, Saturday, sailing day for some of you guys, and that's fabulous. For today, this is the old fat travel guy. You guys have an absolutely fabulous day. And you guys that are sailing this weekend, have a wonderful trip. I'll talk to everybody real soon. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie Cruises.